Hi guys. How's everyone doing? Just can you guys please let me know if you guys can hear me? If any of you guys that are live can just comment saying that you guys can hear me. Unfortunately, I had to use my phone because my laptop is continuing with the technical difficulties. So so anyone who's live, just let me know that you guys can hear me. And then if you can't hear me, can you guys hear me? If you can't hear me, just say that you can't hear me. I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me. But how is everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to our first Facebook chat, the live chat and Q&A. Firstly, apologies for the late start. Like I said, I had technical difficulties. As you can see, it's still not connecting. I've done everything, but it's still telling me that my microphone and camera are offline. Thanks to Trapina for letting me know. All right, guys, let's get started. So the whole point of these Facebook live chats, are for us to have more ways for you guys to reach and communicate with me. And it's really just about being able to engage on a deeper and a higher level, and so that you guys can also ask me questions and I can answer them live. Because a lot of you guys sometimes have the same questions, so it's easier when we're all together that everyone who has the same questions then can hear what the answer is. So the first thing to start off with, just give me a sec. I made a note of one of the couple of announcements that I need to make. So the first thing that I wanted to start off with is to congratulate all the winners from the poll. So if you guys, beginning of the year, around January, we ran a poll for all the ISFAP students. So we ran a poll for all the feedback. Hi Refilwe, thanks for joining. Just asking you guys feedback on on how the program worked last year, what you guys think worked, what didn't work, what you guys think we can improve on moving forward, anything we should add or remove, and basically how can we improve the program and do better. And from that, we had picked, I think it's 40 winners, if I'm not mistaken, of people who had participated in the poll. Once again, I want to thank everyone for participating in the poll because we got more feedback than we could ever have imagined we would get. So look out for more of that kind of stuff coming out throughout the year. We'll be doing, I think, 3 more polls for the rest of the year, and we will be giving prizes away for all of those. For those of you who don't know, what we gave away was a voucher for Spur. So we're giving away meal vouchers, and we've chosen to partner with Spur, because of the value that they're able to bring. So all of the winners, there was 40 of them, they received Spur vouchers. I will be posting up their names, but they've all been informed. So congratulations, and to all of you other guys, please, when we put up the polls, participate and engage, and you could also be our next winner. The second thing that I needed to announce is regarding the WhatsApp. So my phone is actually buzzing right now. So as you'll see, I've got another phone. I've got another phone over here, a really old phone. I used this phone when I was in varsity. It's very old, but it works. So if you see me moving my eyes and engaging on my other phone, I'm not being rude. I'm literally looking at the WhatsApps that people have been sending recently in anticipation for the live chat today. Because, like I said, we will be taking questions. So just bear in mind, I'm not being rude. So the reason why, so I took it upon myself to launch the WhatsApp line. It's on my personal capacity. This is my personal. Okay, Rafilia. Next time, next time. Look out for the next one. We'll be running another one, another poll we're in March now, so in May perhaps we'll be running another one. So just look out for all the communication, and you can stand the chance to win a voucher. But anyways, I was saying the WhatsApp line. So I took it upon myself to actually dig this phone out from the dungeon and get a SIM card so I could launch a WhatsApp line where I can communicate with all of you guys. One of the things that has come up recently from a lot of the students I've been engaging with is that Facebook is not enough. I think there are some students who are not on Facebook, And there are some students who are not, or they're not regularly on Facebook. And so there was a request that could we look into other avenues of communicating with you guys. And so I just then decided to be like, let me just get this phone out, let me get a SIM card so I can engage with you guys on the go. I think a lot of you will agree that WhatsApp is an easier platform to use because it's mobile. Everyone is on WhatsApp. All of you guys are on WhatsApp. So if you guys have a question or a concern, it's easy for you to just send it to me and then I can have a look and respond, or I can send it to some other guys who are more informed about that particular topic. So that's something I need you guys to know, that the WhatsApp, it's run, for now it's run by me. So I'm running it on the go in my personal capacity on behalf of ISFAP. And so what that means is, unfortunately, because I don't have visibility or I don't have a lot of information on a lot of the finance or the funding side of things, I'm not always able to respond to you guys regarding to the funding questions you guys have. So some students come across and they want to know when they'll be receiving feedback about their applications, when they'll be what else like whether their application will be renewed, or and so on and so forth. So it's mainly questions about funding. Those are questions that unfortunately I don't actually have the information to answer directly because I don't work with funding at all. I come in onto ISFAP from a social development, student development, academic, well, not even academic, but like a social academic development aspect of things. So I'm the one who writes all of the content. I'm there for inspiration, motivation, for guidance and counseling, and just advisory type perspective. Unfortunately, I don't deal with the side of funding and who gets funding, who doesn't, when you'll find out about the funding and so forth. Unfortunately, I don't work on that side of ISFAP. So normally what I do is I send your questions to the guys who do work with that information and can respond to you guys. I will, however, say that it is easier if you have those kinds of questions specifically. It's easier if you engage through the email, which is facebook@isfap.co.za, or if you engage through Facebook directly, you send us a message on Facebook directly, because those questions go directly to the ISFAP department that handles the funding and so forth. So then you might find that your speed of response is a lot faster, because if you send it to me, I then have to send it to them, and then they have to get it, and then only can they respond. So it might, take a bit longer. The reason why I decided to start the WhatsApp was so that if you guys have any questions, it can be academic questions about, if you're looking for study tips, if you have questions about what kind of playlists do I recommend for you guys to study to, if you have any questions about, maybe you're dealing with depression, or you're dealing with mental illness, you're dealing with anxiety, you have family pressure and family issues that you're dealing with and you need advice. If you have any issues like that, if you're looking for career guidance or career advice, you're about to graduate and you want my perspective on which career paths you should be looking at, what offers you think you have, and you want to get my perspective on those offers and the different companies and their cultures, that kind of stuff I have expertise in, and I have that kind of information. So I just want to clarify that to everybody out there, so that everybody knows where exactly my expertise lies. And that's where the WhatsApp channel or the WhatsApp number plays in very well. So that if you guys have those questions on the go, you don't hesitate at all to ask me. I respond to every one of them. Even if I don't do it on the same day, I eventually do get to it, and I make sure that I engage well enough with you guys. So yeah. Okay, and then lastly, I mentioned that we do have an email address. I do get some of those questions from the email address forwarded to me by the team. So I'll repeat that again. Once again, it's facebook@isfap.co.za. That's the email address that you guys can send us questions. What I'm talking about will get forwarded directly to me. So then I can either be able to respond via mail, or I can respond via WhatsApp if you've given me your number and you prefer WhatsApp communication, or Facebook if you prefer that. So whichever method you prefer, I can then respond via that. So I encourage you guys to use these platforms. It's the email, It is this WhatsApp line that I've just launched, and obviously you can DM me on Facebook or Insta or any of my other social media platforms if you wish. So, okay, let's get into the questions. Guys, please post your questions. The guys who are online, please feel free to post your questions on here as we're going to the chat. I'll try to get through as many as we can. We've got 30 minutes, so I think we've got another 20 or 30 minutes to go. We started late, so we'll probably end closer to 7. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. So if we don't have any more questions or anything to discuss, then we can close the chat. But just so you know, we'll probably go until let's say another 20 or 30 minutes at most. So ask anyone else. So let your friends know that we're still online. They can check out the web, the chat. All right. So let me get to the first. Okay, I'm reading this now. Okay. So there's a question that says, "Hi, will responses of the live chat inquiry session be made on WhatsApp or will they be made public?" So I'm going to respond to this particular student via text now. But just so you guys know, if you have a question that is personal or that you want to keep confidential, just let me know, and then I will not respond online. So if you want to ask me something and it's very personal and it's very confidential and specific to you, no worries. Just give me a heads up to say that this is not for public consumption. Can you just respond to me? I want to respect everyone's situation and confidentiality. So it will be private depending on whether or not you want it to be private. And then there's another. So like I said, I'm reading these as they are coming along. Then there's a query. Good evening, ISFAP team. The guy mentions his name, but once again, I'm not going to be announcing people's names unless you're on the actual Facebook chat, and that because I can see everyone's name who's coming through on the Facebook chat and who's engaging with me. So unless you come through on the Facebook chat, I won't announce your name when you're sending me a message on WhatsApp or via mail. Unless, of course, you don't mind and you want me to. Nevertheless, hi ISFAP team. I'm a first-year university student and I applied for 2020 ISFAP bursary intake. I still haven't received a response. I would like to know when ISFAP in advance. All right, so this is another example of questions I don't have answers to. So I'll just let this guy know they need to engage directly with the ISFAP office, but I'll also forward the query to ISFAP. Okay, fantastic. All right, this is a long one. Hi, how can I... Okay, hi. How can I separate my personal stress from my academic work? And then they go into giving me their story. So this is an anonymous question. There's no name here. So I'm just going to go ahead and engage with you guys here. Because I think maybe some of these things, a lot of you guys can relate to and are going through the same thing. So I think all of you can relate to a question like, how do I separate my personal stress from my academic work? So balancing the two. So the story goes, here's a bit of my story. I was on ISFAP bursary since 2018. It happened last year that I got approved by NSFAS and I was advised to cancel it. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. I'm just texting the student. They're just engaging with me. So bear with me, guys that are watching. Bear with me. All right. So the question is, how can I separate my personal stress from my academic work? Okay. So personally, for me, in my experience, I always advise people to be able to compartmentalize. And that's just a very fancy way of saying that you need to be able to draw lines and box your life into different boxes and put it into different boxes. And by that, I basically mean that when you're going through a lot of things in life And by life, I mean, let's say you're dealing with stuff at family, like so your family's putting you under pressure for whatever reason, maybe been a loss in the family, maybe, your parents have lost their jobs, or your sisters or your brothers, they're struggling at school, the family's struggling financially, like whatever it might be that you're dealing with in your personal life. Maybe you've just gone through a really bad breakup and you're heartbroken, and you're sad. Maybe you're having issues with your friends and you guys are going through some turmoil with your friends, and you feel betrayed, or you've been stabbed in the back by someone that you trusted. So whatever it is that you're going through in life, it has a way of trickling in, obviously, to affecting your mood and affecting your concentration levels, and that then affects your academics and your ability to study and to perform well academically. And so my advice to all of you guys who are struggling with something like that is you need to be able to draw a line and just tell yourself that I'm not going to focus on anything other than my academics. One thing that a lot of people do in life, just generally, whether you are young or you're old, and it's a bad habit that people have picked up, is that we tend to focus a lot of our attention and time on things we cannot change, impact, or influence. And I'll say that again, slowly. We spend way too much time focusing on things we cannot change, we cannot impact, we cannot influence. And then we neglect the things that we still can change, that we still can impact, that we still can influence to the better and to our benefit. And this is a classic example when you're worried about things that you can't change. So if you're worried about the fact that someone at home has lost their job and now we're going to have financial difficulty, you can't change that. Yes, it sucks. And yes, kuzoba rough, and you're gonna have to knuckle down and maybe even start spending more money back home. Yeah, but you worrying and stressing about it is not going to change the fact that your dad got retrenched, or that your mom is sick. It's not going to change it. You need to sit down and be like, okay, this sucks. It's sad and it's bad, and I hate the fact that I have to go through this, but I can't change it. So me sitting and wallowing in self-pity, me sitting and waiting every day, I'm just like sad and woe is me, and I'm basically having a pity party. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get your dad a job or make your mom better, or like get you money. What is going to make things better is you knuckling down, studying, graduating, getting a good job, coming back home, putting your younger siblings through school so they can be successful, and helping your mom and dad at home with the expenses and stuff like that. That's what's going to change your life. That's what's going to change the life of the people around you. So always think of it from that perspective. If you can't change it, guys, why are you wasting so much time, money, resources? You're wasting your energy thinking and worrying about it. And then at the end of the day, and I mean, like I said, all of you students will probably have everyone in life has a question like this, because we're always going through a lot of things in life. But when you look at the end of the day, you've sat the entire day watching series, or like, I don't know, eating junk food, watching TV, playing PlayStation, or just like wasting time with your friends, getting nothing done. And at the end of the day, you've got nothing productive done, and you're still in the exact same place. You haven't changed anything, by worrying about it. I love, there's something that T.D. Jakes says. He's one of my favorite motivational speakers to listen to. You guys should check him out. Even if you're not religious, as a speaker, he's actually very... So there's something is something that has not yet happened. It's a state of worrying about cannot change. Influence, you cannot impact it. Your job, and you're working, and you've got a nice car, nice house, nice job, and good money, and now you're working. But then life will still happen to you. Life is still gonna happen, like ish is still gonna happen to you in life, and it's gonna affect the way you come into work. Okay, let me do this instead.